Mind elevation.
How in the world can we ask others to respect us as an equal with nothing? Come on. If you have nothing and everything that you have I give you, how can you be my equal? Are you the equal of your mother when she's out there making a way for you? Can you have an equal amount of say-so in the house when you bring nothing in to pay the bills? Talk back to me. No, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. And if you don't have the cost, somebody else is the boss. Is that right? Mama tells you what room you sleep in. And mama tells you to turn off the television. It's time to go to sleep. And I don't want any noise in my head. You can't argue. You're not bringing any money in. You have no say-so. Is that right? All right. Well, by the same token, if the white people of this nation have to provide education for us, housing for us, jobs for us, everything for us, and we provide nothing for ourselves, then who is the boss? Who got the right to be the boss? You're giving them the right to be the boss by being a non-productive entity in this body politic. Look at it, beloved brothers and sisters. Koreans are in our neighborhood making a profit off of our inactivity in business. Arabs are in our community making money. Jews are in our community. Italians are in our community. Irish and Polish are in our community making a living. How many blacks have stores in their communities? They won't permit it because they're alive. They're active. And they give the goods and services to their own people. And this is what we should be doing for ourselves and for our people. So here you are at Loyola in a liberal arts course that may not be too liberal. You may take Psychology 101, 202, or 303. And come out of here not able to use what you've learned. Because the minds of the young people that you may think you are being prepared to teach, you can't handle them. Because the mind is not a stagnant thing, but your education is stagnant. You're reading old textbooks from old tired professors who knew half the truth, whose methodology is weak, dead, stagnant, and minds are constantly evolving. And when the mind evolves, the old method and the old technique won't work on the new mind that's being produced. And that's why teachers that are in the public school system are now seen trying to get a job as a cab driver, a brick mason, because they can't handle the young children's mind. And they just got out of here yesterday. What are you gonna do with the madness? I started to say foolishness, and most of it is foolishness. But the madness that you are learning that you think is real knowledge. I got to talk to you. Because you paying an awful lot of money to come out of here and be nothing. You say, now wait a minute, brother. I mean, that's a pretty heavy statement. I know it's a heavy statement. But look, don't argue with me. Look at the statistics. A few years ago, we had nearly 14,000 Bachelor of Science degrees every year. 775 black people were getting a master's degree every year. Nearly 100 black people were getting a doctorate degree every year. This was 15 years ago. Now that figure is nearly double. We have more learning among us than the respected world power of Great Britain. But Great Britain is producing industry with her learning. Schools, farms, factories, international trade and commerce, hospitals. What are we producing with the so-called education that we have? Nothing. Nothing. We become more intelligent beggars. Gifted beggars. Look at your learned, dressed up in suits with briefcases, with resumes, looking for a job. And white folks tell them either you're too qualified or you're underqualified. So you end up with no job. Qualified for welfare. Qualified for handout. No good. Something is missing, beloved, in your learning. Something is missing in your learning. What you're being given, let me not make a suggestion that what you're given is not valuable. Of course it is valuable if we can recognize its value and manifest its value. But what good is something valuable if you don't know its value and don't know how to extract its value? In this book, the Quran, which is the book of scripture of the Muslims, it talks about a jackass on which is placed books. Now, if you've ever seen a burro or donkey or jackass that you use to carry your heavy load, you can put all kind of books on the jackass's back. But when you get to the top of the mountain, the jackass is still a jackass because it can't read. I wonder, is there any similarity? No, I'm not calling you that. But I'm saying piling books on top of you where you do not read with understanding. You say, well, I read with understanding. I know exactly what I read. I beg your pardon. 99 and 9/10% of you really don't know what you read. You read to quote, not to understand. And so you quote what the professor has said or what the book has written, and you get an A, a B, or C. So you should get your degree in quotology. But you don't have a degree in understanding. Otherwise, everything that you learn should be principles that you can apply in your daily life. And if you cannot apply what you learn, then what you've gotten is a car and somebody has withheld the key. Now where are you going? And the key that has been withheld from you, my beloved brothers and sisters, is the key of self-knowledge.
Mind elevation.